And chapter the last. Let's go.
Another round for you, Bill?
Sure, why not? Ever since they started letting us drink again, I just can't say no. So, has the old sad sack been in tonight?
We're the sad sack, aren't we?
Coming up on 9. He should be here any minute.
You know, he may be a real son of a bitch, but I can't help but feel sorry for him.
Well, I don't. Plenty of people are hurting these days. A whole bunch are way worse off than him. I'll take those poor folks in the Dust Bowl, for example. Anyway, just because he used to be
it's
a real
us.
estate big shot doesn't give him the excuse to be disagreeable.
And we've turned into an absolute bitch.
And keeps to himself.
Well, a louder version of an absolute
Maybe I can
bitch.
go in tonight and see if we can finally find out if he was really working for the mob.
Well, speak of the devil.
Oh, there's such a silver going around.
Mr. Banks, what'll it be tonight?
Oh, G&T, baby.
Gin and tonic. And go easy on the tonic.
Yes, sir. Will this be on your tab?
It is every other night. Why should tonight be any different?
Here you
Don't be
are.
a dick to your bartender.
Say, you got a light, pal?
No. Absolutely not. It's your flask. You've had it for about 4 years now. Lately, it seems to be your best friend. Does the job well enough. This guy's in here fairly often. For some reason, he's staring at you, which you don't particularly like. Getting shows a ship about to sail off the edge of the world. You can relate. Oh, matches probably? There we go. Box of matches. Telephone. Many is the night where you've seen some poor slob crying his eyes out to his wife or girlfriend in this thing. Don't call. An SO or X when you're drunk. Alright. Door probably serves as an emergency exit. You never bothered to find out. Alright. Huh. Quickly pocket the book of matches. Here's your light, buddy. Fuck off, Bill.
Thanks, buddy.
Have I got horns coming out of my forehead or something?
No, sir.
Then why are you staring at me like I do?
You used to work in real estate, didn't you?
We could just play up being an asshole.
See how that's any of your business, friend.
Well, it becomes my business when you talk about it loudly enough to be heard from the outside. But really, I'm more curious about what happened afterwards. Is it true you were working for Fatty Walsh?
You really are a blue nose, aren't you? If I were you, I'd stop asking those sorts of questions before things get unpleasant.
Oh,
We never killed anyone intentionally anyway.
exciting. Are you threatening me?
This guy's a little shit too.
Knock it off.
Oh, yeah. That's tempting.
Does this answer your question?
Oof. That went well.
Oh, my head.
Apparently we can't take it.
I suppose I've woken up in worse spots than this before.
Alright.
What's that over there on the wall?
Delivery drop off. Trash cans. Maybe they'll be full of handgun ammo. Propped open, so there's something propping it open. Collection of leaflets and flyers that have been here for several years. Large black trash bags. Its contents a mystery. What's in the box? Box is empty, apart from your old red handkerchief. Reminds you of your old one, so you decide to take it with you. Or an old one that reminds you of your old one. Okay. Might as well round it out with 10. Okay, so we have a handkerchief. Puddle of filthy water is accumulated in the center of the alley. Doesn't seem to be a good drainage system in place here. Alright, let's check the posters first. A bunch of old posters for movies, music events, and Prohibition. You can just make out a familiar blue underneath one of them. You attempt to tear some of the posters off, but they become plastered to the wall. There has to be some way of seeing what's underneath. Well, if they're wheat pasted, water would be enough to get it off, I would think. Okay, we can't take the thing that's propping it up. Now we got a wet handkerchief. Boats? Coral Gables, okay. Oh,
The days when I was an upstart kid who was gonna make something of himself.
I think I skipped something, but looks like we're still getting the idea of it.
Forget it. Life's too short to hold grudges. After all, if it hadn't been for Merrick, I'd probably be panhandling in Bryant Park right now. Might as well go see how the old bird is doing these days. Can't possibly be worse off than me.
He's gonna be dead. No, we're too forward there.
Hasn't changed one bit. At least something from the old days is still around.
He doesn't live here anymore, does he? Oh. Even his mother's still alive?
What on earth are you doing here?
I thought she would have kicked it by now.
I know it's been a while, and I'm sorry.
10 years is much more than a while in my book, young man. In any case, I'm afraid you've picked a bad time to call.
What's the matter?
It's George, that stubborn fool. He's gonna get himself killed.
Killed? How?
You mean you haven't heard?
What
There's
now?
a hurricane coming.
Oh, yeah.
It'll be as bad as the one in 26. It's set to pass through the Keys tomorrow afternoon.
So, why hasn't anyone prepared here?
Because it's not expected to come this far north.
Then there's something I'm not understanding. How exactly is George in danger?
He's in the Keys.
We've been living down in Matacumbe Key for the past few years.
But that's also, like, the railroad I mentioned last session got hit by the second one, too.
Hurricane was coming. He sent me up here and refused to.
We got an ad coming up, so hopefully they finish.
His dream died twice.
That's crazy. We have to get him out of there.
I'm afraid there isn't much that can be done. They've stopped all the trains going south.
There has
That
to
only
be a
helped
way.
so much.
Don't worry, ladies. I'll get George back here safely. I owe him that much at least.
Please be careful, Alfie.
And good luck.
Alright. Alright, and we will try to get on the train, or steal a train, after the... Alright, we're back to it. I got my beverage cool. This humidity's making my hair that much more unmanageable. Alright, so I guess we have to get on the train somehow. Luggage piled up outside the station as usual. Security guard standing in front of the entrance to the train station. He looks very familiar.
Begging your pardon, sir.
What can I do for you?
Oh, it's the cop from the docks.
Didn't you used to be a guard at the Dinner Key Marina?
Yes, I did. Until I got fired for letting some jerk steal a part from a hydroplane. Took me years to be able to convince anyone to hire me back.
Whatever.
Sorry to hear that.
Eat shit, rent-a-cop.
When does the next train leave?
It doesn't.
What?
Well, haven't you heard? There's a hurricane set to strike the Keys.
Yes, I have actually.
Well, then you should know that all the trains have been canceled.
Alright.
Don't understand. It's of the utmost importance that I get down to the Keys.
I do understand. And I'm afraid you're out of luck, friend. There's only one train going down there. And it's not for passengers.
Why not?
Because it's being sent to evacuate the WP
Yep.
construction.
That's it. That's the
If you need to take a fishing trip, I suggest you
the
wait.
railway. Let's go for
There's
it.
something important we need to discuss.
Is there? Do tell.
Look, friend, it's extremely important I get on that train.
Okay. Business.
I have a
Let's be
friend
honest.
in the Keys who needs my help.
Your friend has probably already been evacuated. There's nobody in their right mind left down there who shouldn't be there.
I know for a fact he hasn't. He's very stubborn and insists on staying.
I still don't see how that's my problem.
Alright, empathy.
A man might die if I don't go down and save him. Can you really live with that on your conscience?
The cops don't have a conscience, so...
Get yourself killed too. And then I'd have 2 deaths on my conscience. So unless you give me an extraordinary reason, you're not getting on this train.
Alright.
I need to save George Merrick. He's in danger.
Eric? The Coral Gables guy? What's he doing down there?
He's been running a
He's
fishing
been neutral this
boat,
entire
but he's
time.
insisted on staying behind. Please, you don't know him like I do. He's very stubborn and passionate. If I don't go down there, he won't budge and he'll probably die.
Well, I'm sorry, but I have to stand firm on my orders. You're not getting on this train.
Fuck you too, buddy. You want a sip?
Look, I'm desperate. I need to get on that train. Can I maybe offer you a drink to look the other way?
A drink? You're trying to buy me off with a drink? You're just lucky I've been craving one for hours. Go on.
That was easy.
My mind. And if anyone asks, you don't tell them I let you on board.
Deal.
Oh, agreed. Dramatic music.
Can't see a thing. We should be well on our way. Now I just need to find a way out of this car.
Okay. We got some stuff. Too dark today. There's a lamp. I still have the matches. Lamp is empty. Okay. Large door. No way we could pull that on our own. Up barrel. Strong odor of kerosene. Come on, trusty handkerchief. Okay. And then we can just somehow use that with the lamp. Light up. That's a really good ring job if you got all the kerosene out of that handkerchief, but okay. Okay. Release the next car. Can we take the lamp with us? Okay. Where we go? Oh, something on this table. What is that? What is that? What is
The
that?
storm seems to have made landfall already.
That's bad.
Horse feathers. Sticking around back here probably isn't the best idea. I should head towards the front of the train.
Alright. So they boarded up a window. Free hammer. Flyboard. Huh. Seats are unoccupied. Alright. Keep moving. Hey, buddy.
Who are you? What are you doing on this train?
The name's Banks.
Walking.
I snuck on board because I need to get to the keys.
You're crazy. What were you thinking?
I thought this train was...
That VA I've heard in some other Watch Eye stuff too.
We're only going forward because
Oops.
there's no way to turn back. The train is already starting to come apart. You're lucky you came up here when you did. I was just about to detach the locomotive.
But why?
Because if even one car gets blown off the tracks, the rest of the train will too. It's not worth...
He's right, he's not wrong.
I was afraid this would happen. If we don't equalize the pressure in this car, in the next few minutes, it'll come apart. Help me get one of these windows open, would you?
Sure. I've got a window opener.
Good going, Banks. Now let's get to the locomotive so we can detach the train. Otherwise, we'll be swept off the tracks along with the rest of it.
More cargo. Okay, so what are we doing? We talk to him?
Banks, quick.
Alright, locomotive it is. Let's go. Let's see if we can remember enough of Merrick's attitude to... I feel like we're going to have a chat with him.
We must be entering the eye of the storm.
Great. So much for that.
Or maybe not. I better find George. There isn't much time.
Okay, oh. George is probably not inside. Prices for rentals. Okay. Oh. Well, it doesn't look like we can walk away, so...
George, open this door right now.
That worked. Okay.
Banks, I have to admit you were the last person I expected to see walking through that door. What brings you to my little club?
I came to get you, George. In case you weren't aware, there's a huge hurricane on its way.
I am well aware, yes. In fact, I sent Eunice away because of it.
Great.
No, she's the one who...
I see. I have to
Told me where you find you. Sorry, my
But as long as you're here,
hand has betrayed me.
go ahead and have a seat.
I haven't got time to talk. We have to leave.
I insist. Besides, I'm not going anywhere.
I mean, if you want to die. Paul gave us his heydays, bunch of nostalgia. Alright. Merrick's Baby, the Biltmore Hotel. Clearly hasn't forgotten about it all after all these years. Old building in a dark street corner makes you think of Charles Dickens. He's lost his taste for aesthetics. Well, haven't seen George in nearly 10 years. Despite his older appearance, he still maintains his powerful presence.
George.
Yes?
Okay. See if I can't.
I I know we didn't part on the best of terms the last time we saw each other. I just wanted to say I'm sorry. I was young and stupid. I thought the world owed me.
Apology accepted, Alfie. We've all been there. So, now that we've got that out of the way, what else is on your mind?
So, what have you been doing with
So,
yourself?
plenty of time to chat.
I'm sure you heard about the bust. Coral Gables went bankrupt, and I was forced to step down from the commission. I always enjoyed it down here in the Keys, and Eunice's family just happened to own this property. So we came down here and opened up the fishing club. It's been a much quieter life than I'm used to, but I can't complain.
You know, except for the hurricane.
Couldn't the others have done something for you? What about Duck?
I assume you didn't hear that Doc passed away 5 years ago.
Oh, shit.
I didn't. Huh. Did you know this hurricane was coming?
I had heard, yes. The weatherman had been talking about it on the radio the past few days. They seem to take them a bit more seriously down here in the Keys.
Yeah.
Why haven't you evacuated?
There's not as much land there to absorb the shock and shit.
Down with his ship. I never abandoned Coral Gables. I see no reason why I should abandon the Caribbean Club.
Coral Gables was lucky. It didn't get the worst of the hurricane in 26. You're right in the path of this one.
That may be, but I think I've taken sufficient.
Dingus. All right.
George, we need to leave. Isn't there any way I can convince you?
You did a pretty good job of convincing plenty of other people in the old days. I'm not opposed to hearing what you have to say.
I don't have time for this, bro. Just knock him out.
So, Alfie, why is it so important we go back?
All right.
Coral Gables needs you back, George. It's just not the same without you.
Oh, I hardly think that's true. Coral Gables has been fine without me the past few years.
Well, that went nowhere.
The sun, it's time for a new generation to take over.
Uh-huh. Still so much left to do?
There's still so much left to do in Coral Gables. You can't just give up now.
Oh, really? This is an interesting change of attitude. Didn't you give up on Coral Gables when you decided to work for Tom Walsh?
Fair enough.
I saw the way things were headed and decided to go for a more lucrative opportunity.
He is all about the business.
I blame you, but I just wish you hadn't jumped ship so soon.
What else was I supposed to do? Drown with the rats? I don't share your optimism, George. I still can't understand how you never felt tempted to just give up yourself.
Who says I didn't? Do you think you're the only one who saw what was going on? The Depression came to Coral Gables years before the rest of the country. There were days when I thought about packing it all in.
Oh, we seem to have cracked open something here.
I stayed until they threw me out.
I didn't know that. I thought you were just naive.
We all have our bad days, Alfie. Sometimes it's bad weeks or even months. But what's important above all else is sticking to your principles.
Fair enough. All right. Principles are great, but money's what's on people's minds nowadays.
I understand what you're saying, George, but times have changed. Principles are important, surely, but the depression and lack of money is all anyone thinks about.
Weird how that keeps coming around.
The city beautiful, sparing no expense, making it all about the aesthetics. But think about the value of that city in the current economic climate. Someone in charge wouldn't think twice about tearing down the Biltmore to sell the land if it meant a profit.
And all the work we did, all the sacrifices people made would have meant nothing. I hadn't even considered that possibility. I can't in good conscience allow something like that to happen. It seems living down here all these years has made me a bit out of touch. All right, Alfie. As soon as this storm passes, we'll take the first train back to Miami so I can assess the situation myself. Thank you for helping me see things a bit more clearly.
I think I'm the one who should be thanking you for that, George.
Resolution, I guess?
We should be careful. It sounds like the storm has gotten stronger.
Okay. Well, you still get the no intuition achievement, even if you don't successfully convince people, so that's cool.
When we get out there, we need to head directly for the shelter south of here. Just follow me, and we'll be there in no time.
Right behind you.
All right.
George, watch out!
Oh, we did. Shit. I wasn't expecting a squeeze.
Ladies and gentlemen, today we remember a very special man whose life was unfortunately cut short. Alfie Banks was someone who wasn't afraid to speak his mind. In fact, he certainly gave me a piece of it one of the last times I spoke with him. However, at heart, he was a kind soul. Alfie cared about the well-being of others, even if they wronged him, and that takes class.
Except for Fatty.
Alfie didn't need to
Fatty was kind of a dick.
falling out we had so many years ago, but he did, and that meant more to me than anyone could ever know. In the time I knew and worked with him, Alfie always showed an immense amount of initiative, which makes it no surprise that he achieved as much as he did. Despite harder times in his last few years, he showed in the end that he was a good man. I would not be here speaking to you right now if it weren't for him. Not only do I owe my life
A little bit naive, but
livelihood as well, though I may not have expressed it as clearly as I should have. Alfie was instrumental in the success of Coral Gables. I'm sure he knew that. And though he was taken from us far too soon, Alfie's legacy will live on in the streets and buildings of this city. Because, just like the galleon which came to be the symbol of Coral Gables, Alfie sailed through all our lives, leaving behind a golden wake.
we have a title. Edward Doc Dammers, Coral Gables' first mayor, completed his term in 1928. In 1929, he suffered a stroke while playing golf. After several months of recovery, he returned to his summer home in Coquitchuit, Massachusetts, where he died on March 24th, 1930. Oh, was he real? Despite being killed in his penthouse suite on March 4th, 1929, Thomas Fatty Walsh's legacy lives on at the Biltmore Hotel, where many claim his ghost still haunts the 13th floor. Employees have reported elevator malfunctions as well as the smell of cigar smoke when nobody is staying in the suite. I've heard the name the Biltmore before, so it wouldn't surprise me if he was real. Althea Merrick continued living at her home until her death in 1937. In 1976, the city of Coral Gables acquired the house and restored it to its 1925 appearance. In 2010, the Coral Gables Garden Club commissioned a bronze statue of Althea, which currently sits in the garden of the Coral Gables house. Huh. I know William Jennings Bryan was real. He went on to participate in the Scopes monkey trial in 1925, where he famously took the stand and denounced evolution. Successfully achieving a guilty verdict, Bryan died 5 days after the trial ended. Why did we get this guy to speak at our thing? Mabel Cody continued performing death-defying stunts with her flying circus until 1924, when it disbanded due to an accident where she suffered a broken forearm and dislocated shoulder. She went on to join the Doug Davis Baby Ruth flying circus. Butterfinger. Eunice Peacock Merrick remained in Coral Gables until her death in 1989. Damn. Her contributions of land as well as the founding of the Coral Gables Women's Club and Gardening Club makes her a pivotal figure in the development of the city. Marjorie Stoneman Douglas went on to become a crusader for the environment. I thought her name sounded familiar. Best known for her work related to the conservation of the Everglades, her best-selling book, The Everglades, River of Grass, made the cause popular and earned her name the nickname the Grand Dame of the Everglades. She died in 1998 at the age of 108. After the 1935 hurricane destroyed the Caribbean colony, George Merrick returned to Coral Gables, where he re-entered real estate business. In 1940, he became postmaster of Miami and died 2 years later in 1942 at the age of 55. Fuck, that's fucking young. Merrick's legacy is still apparent at Coral Gables to this day. In addition to several streets and parks which carry his name, a statue of him was erected in front of the Coral Gables City Hall in 2006, commemorating his vision and eternal optimism. Alright. We stayed above... Oh, so we got the good guy achievement for staying above negative influence. It was cute. Again, what's his fuss? Alfie kind of grated on me, but yeah. And yeah, Dave Gilbert is the Watch It Eye guy, so this was originally a Watch It Eye game, but I guess they got publishing rights back. Benedito. Andy Schmelko. I've definitely seen that name in some of their other games. But where's our guy? Oh, yeah, Tara Almalave's usually in there too. There he is. I knew Abe Goldfarb was Doc. Every fucking time. He always gets at least one in there. I forget who else sounded familiar. I'm not sure who Ben Chandler is. Alright, well, that was only 2.5 hours, so I think I'm going to take a quick break. I'm going to come back, and I think we'll do a little more disco. FloridaMemory.com. I should see if that still exists. Again, I literally only knew the Flagley and Railroad angle from Well, There's Your Problem.